tests our smarts, what little bit of it's left up there, every Wednesday as the host of Game Show Network's Idiotest. Well, now we have put him in our seat, our hot seat, and we're going to test you. Not really.
Oh, good.
We're going to...
No one's ever done that. We'll probably fail.
We'll see. I guess that's probably the premise of the game, which we're going to get into. But I find it so interesting because of what you do, being a game show host, being in front of people, and a TV personality.
Mm-hmm. And a voice for animation.
Yeah. And way back in the day, that speaking was something that you struggled with.
That is true, yeah. I grew up with a pretty severe speech problem that started very early in childhood, probably at age 3 or 4, and continued on and off at different varying degrees of difficulty throughout, even till the very end of college, till about 21, 22 years old. And something I had to figure out how to overcome, and because obviously it would be very difficult to be a stand-up comedian and TV host without speaking.
Did you know that?
Oh, you noticed that.
Sort of one of the key elements.
Yeah.
So was that always at the end of the rainbow? You knew you wanted to do that? You just had to figure out how to get there? So that was your motivation?
Yeah, that was the crazy thing, is I always just had a comedic brain and saw the world in like a weird, askew, funny way, and it was frustrating to always have thoughts of funny things I wanted to say and not be able to say it. So I had to figure a way to get there.
How did you?
I did a lot of the traditional things people do and went to speech therapists throughout my childhood many times, and none of it really worked for me because they would teach you like physical techniques, how to like do an H sound before an M so you'd open your vocal cords, and to me those were just weird tricks. I sounded like an idiot doing it. So I knew it was something psychological in the way I was seeing the world, and I think I was putting too much pressure on myself to speak perfectly and to present myself a certain way to the world, and I was so focused on the presentation. And I realized what really matters is the exact opposite of that. It's the content. It's what you're saying, not how you're saying it. And you need to care more about, the content of your words. So I just realized, who cares? Secondly, I realized that, public speaking is one of people's biggest fears.
Yeah.
And I realized that we see that wrong too. It's like, in fact, people have very low expectations. When you're speaking in front of them, we think we're supposed to be perfect. In fact, people are just glad they're not the one speaking. They have very low expectations. And then you take one step further back, and the thing that really helped me realize that, I would get so nervous, and I feel like all eyes are on me and these cameras and lights and everybody looking at me now. I would get so tense, and I realized, in fact, this is a tiny little dot on a huge country that includes South Carolina and other places. And then you go further than that, we're on a planet that's enormous, and you go further than that, the planet is a tiny speck in a vast, unknowable universe, flying in some hard to figure out thing. Do you think what I'm saying right now on this show, or what I'm saying in front of people, matters at all? Exactly. There is zero tension behind it. So I just learned to reframe the way I
Yes, it does. You know why? Because you matter.
Oh, that's very sweet.
No, he is matter. We're all matter.
What if you said we all are all matter?
Yeah, we do. But you were able to.
What if you said I matter and my speech problem came right back? I'm like, you're right.
But you do matter. But you managed to actually make money with your speech impediment. I mean, when did you realize that you could do that?
That is true.
Yeah.
So I cured I had like a disfluency and a stutter, and I couldn't make sounds come out of my vocal cords. But on top of that, I've always had, and to this day, still have a bit of a lisp. Maybe you heard a little bit there on my S. On my S. On my S? On my S.
I heard it on your S.
On my S. And so, I started doing voiceover work because I have kind of a strange voice from what I'm told. And I went into audition for Ice Age Continental Drift. And I was auditioning to play Sid the Sloth's brother Marshall, John Leguizamo's character's brother. And I auditioned, and I hadn't seen the earlier movies. So I just auditioned as my normal voice. Oh. That's right there. Sid the Sloth.
That's John.
And I auditioned for the great casting director, Christian Kaplan. And I finished the audition, and he says to me, Ben, because Sid the Sloth has an enormous lisp, the main character in Ice Age. So he says to me, Ben, you choosing to put that little lisp in your character was genius. Little did he know that is how I always speak. So I just decided to go with it, and I just avoided using S's the rest of the time in the room. I was like, thank you much. Kind word, bye-bye. And just backed out of the room and got the part.
Did you actually have a chance to be in the same room with John and work with him?
It's funny because when you do animated movies, I've now done a few of them, and I was just in Book of Life, but when we did Ice Age, you record separately. You don't ever meet the people that you do it with until the premiere. So I was, and never met him. In the movie Ice Age, my character is on a sled, run away down a huge hill, and with my whole Sloth family, and we literally bump into Sid the Sloth, John Leguizamo's character. That's how we meet. And he and I never met in real life, and I was hiking Runyon Canyon here in Hollywood, running down the hill, and bumped into John Leguizamo in the exact way
Now
that
you
our characters meet in the movie.
See, now you're taking, we're this big universe and nothing ever matters.
Yeah.
I'm not
That's important.
I'm not saying there's not weird magical connections. For sure there are. All I'm saying is it's all part of some big cosmic thing that we don't understand. So don't think like the way you're pronouncing your pauses really matters that much.
Right,
Is
right.
my only point. I know I matter. Okay.
Would you do a little bit of the sloth? Did you have the
Sure,
character?
yeah.
Wait.
Sure. Yeah. Put your arms down, Uncle Fungus. This is ridiculous. Whoa! Yak!
There it is. All right, look at that.
Thank you very much. I'm a trained actor.
So you're a trained actor.
Yeah.
So trained that you.
I had to conjure a sloth right there to do that. It was hard.
I heard you're pretty good at wagering things with Chelsea.
Because you guys are really good friends. You've been on her show a lot.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Chelsea Handler is amazing. She had me on her show for the whole 7-year run of the show, and she asked me to then open for her on her tour during her last tour for some of the dates. So we were in Philadelphia, I think it was, one night, and we went to a nightclub for some reason because I thought that would be a good idea, and convinced her to go. We'd had some drinks. We'd come back to her hotel room, and she and I both love playing ping pong. We battle all the time. The only thing, unfortunate for her, is I'm much better than her. And she'd practically never beat me, but randomly she decides to start talking trash. She goes, "Ben, you suck at ping pong." And it's like 2 in the morning, and I said, "Chelsea, if I suck at ping pong, why don't we put a wager on it? If you're gonna talk so much garbage." And she's like, "That's fine. How much you want to bet, $1,000? Now she's Chelsea Handler.
Yeah.
That's like a $5 bill to her. To me, that is an enormous amount of money.
It's $1,000 to you.
It's like $1,000 to me. It's like $100,000 to me. So I've truly I wish a $5,000 check would come to my door. That's how much.
Yeah.
And so I have no business betting that, but I felt as though I could beat her, and I couldn't back down. My masculinity's on the line now.
Of course
I'm
it
being
is.
challenged.
She's calling you out.
Yeah. So we play ping pong, and I beat her.
Oh my gosh.
And she says, "Double or nothing." I say, "You got it," and I beat her again. She says, "Double or nothing." I beat her again. She now owes me $4,000. I said, "Chelsea, I do not want your money. We can just please stop playing now. It's all good." And she goes, "I wouldn't worry about it, Ben. I'm making money right now while we're playing ping pong." And I'm like, "All right, let's bring it on. Let's keep playing." We play again. I beat her again. It's now 8,000. We go 2,000 more. It's 10,000. She says 2,000 more. It's now $12,000.
Keep winning.
I keep winning every single game, and I'm like, "We're done playing.
Walk
please."
away,
So
man.
hey,
It's like
walk away.
Vegas. You're gonna lose it all.
You gotta get her from the table. It's exactly right. So we're done playing, and the next night at dinner before our show, she's like, "Ben, I don't know if I'm gonna pay you that money. We were drinking a little bit," and I'm like, "That's good. I don't want the money. I don't want your money. It's all good. Please. You know, I'm much better than you, ping pong. I don't need it." And I'd have the ego of knowing I'm better. Money cannot put a price on that. And we do our show in a big arena in Philadelphia that night in front of like 7,000 people. I get off stage, and they hand me my paycheck, and then I have another check for $12,000 from Chelsea.
Yeah, it's great.
Solid.
Yeah.